Zbca said. I seriously believe that Zimbabwe is going to be built by women. Why do I say so? It's because we have the drive, we have the passion to make a difference in Zimbabwe. So, what does it take? We've been talking about the 24 contractors that are women, that are registered. That is 5%, 2%. So why are we not having more women who are being registered, who are also taking a part in constructing our beautiful country? I'm going to discuss some of the things which I think if we address, if we look at, we'll leave this place with 50% of contractors actually coming on board. Firstly, you must appreciate or you must acknowledge that you have the right to be where you are. There are times when you're in industry, and someone is like, oh, you're the engineer. Many times people, when they hear engineer Makumbe, even up to now, they expect to see a man and a big man. And then they see this woman and she's a small woman. So, and I don't apologize for being who I am, for having achieved what I've achieved. I've achieved that due to hard work. So if you've done a club Gaudensi, she was saying, that project, it's mine, I did it. I've made a name, I've made a mark in industry. And she has, and she's not apologizing. Whether you like it or not, she's there, and she's there to be recognized and acknowledged. So same with you, don't cower, don't hide in a cupboard to say, if I'll shine too much, don't apologize. Be who you are, where you are, and don't make any apologies. And also in everything that we do, this forum that we have, today, this networking is important. I've heard the previous things talking about us being in the kitchen, cooking. It is tough being a woman, I have to acknowledge. We have kids to look after. We've got husbands to look after. Our moms, our siblings, everyone wants us to look after them. But we still want to hustle. We still want to make an impact. We still want to be great out there on the professional arenas that we've chosen for ourselves. So when we come to places like this, we talk to women of like mind, women who've done it, such that, when you feel like, I don't think it's really possible to do what I want to do. And Chineso will come here and tell you that I did this, I did that, and you're like, okay, if Chineso could do it, so it means there's hope for me. I can do it. So we need to network more. It doesn't have to be in big groups like this. You can have smaller groups where you network, exchange what is there on the market, what is happening, because trust me, men are making money just by going to golf. When they're just on the golf course, say, oh, Tom, have you heard about this tender, in Zbca? Actually they're looking for someone to do the designs, and you're like, well, if you want, I'll give you a contact. You just go and see this and that, and then you get the tender document. Oh, okay. And Joy is there, she doesn't know. The tender closes, it's awarded to Tom. You see, so we need to network more, we need the information to exchange information and just let each other know what's happening. Don't overthink things. How many times, when you're here, you're like, hey, maybe there's a tender that is there. And then you look, and then maybe it's usually you do that when you're sleeping, and you're like, okay, so this tender, they want me to build a school. Okay, what if I buy from Beta Bricks and then they tell me that they don't have bricks anymore? Hey, that means what do I do? Okay, what if the cement and then PPC closes? And what if the cement has a tendering? You're overthinking things. Just move. You're doing just fine. You fail before you even start because you're dissecting things too much. So just go for it. Just jump in and swim. Don't overthink things. But still be professional. I loved it. It was talked about before. Be professional. Trust me, your professionalism will sell you. It will build a brand. You can never go wrong on a brand. Be someone when people talk about engineers, they're like, oh, do you know engineer Makumbe? And you're like, oh yeah, I've heard about you. That woman is professional. You can't go wrong with her on your project. Isn't that nice? You just don't come out of bed one morning and people are talking about you as a brand. No, there's nothing like that. It doesn't happen. It comes from those baby steps. You're given this task to do. Do it well. You're given another task. Do it well. Show up. Tell the truth. This won't work. I need 3 weeks. Tomorrow, Jay, I'll give you. And you know, and then you're not answering the phone. The tomorrow, Jay, you're not picking up your phone. You know? So you're messing yourself up. Tell the truth. This takes, I love it. You know, so this will take 6 weeks. That's the truth. And if someone wants to take a chance on you on those 6 weeks, good. If not, someone else will. But be professional in everything that you do. Deliver in the timelines that you would have promised. Don't cut corners. Do everything professionally. That will sell you. Then, form joint ventures. I know, tenders are out there every day, they're tenders. And then you look at yourself, you're small you. I don't think I can make it. They need $100,000 in the bank. Hey, are you alone? No. Look for Guardiansia. Guardiansia, there's this tender. Can we go in it together? There's this tender. Because I know that as women contractors, we are starting out. We haven't made it out there, and so the money is not there. Sometimes we don't even have title deeds to get a loan. But if we form consortiums of women contractors, we can be able to bid. And when we bid, we build a name. And then that name is what will get us the next contract. So let's form consortiums together. If you just think of yourself alone, you won't make it. And you just give up. Because you feel it's overwhelming. I can't do it. This thing is too big. I don't know electrical. But are all the electricians dead? There's a certain electrical lady that you know. Call her. Form those consortiums. Let's come together, ladies, and put in the bids together. And then support a sister. I loved the Guardians. She supported Cheneso because we have contractors that are seasoned, women contractors that are seasoned. We even have male contractors that are seasoned. Let those be the ones to actually be the mentors for the young starting out contractors. Get a mentee, to our seasoned contractors. Get a mentee. And mentees, get a mentor. And sometimes you just have to be aggressive. Don't wait for someone to say, do you want me to mentor you? Just show up and say, you know what, I like what you're doing, I'm going with you. They'll look at you, think you're crazy, but you're just there. I'm coming with you. So you are the one who wants to learn. So don't wait for someone to say, do you want to learn? Show that you want to learn. Be aggressive. That's the only way you learn. Someone will know that you're really passionate in what you're doing. Sometimes you have to really squeeze people. You get a mentee, someone to teach. And half the time they don't show, half the time they say I'm tired, half the time, so has died. And you remember this is the same person who died last week. At the end of the day, you just give up on them and say, you know what, I think I'm really pushing. They really don't want to learn. So let's want to learn. Let's want to grow. Focus. How many times has there been noise around you and you're like, I don't think I can do this? Because people are saying that I can't. But what are you saying? What are you saying about yourself? You know what? I love noise myself right now. I love noise. Of course, when I was younger, the noise would make me just be mad and I would just fight. I was a fighter. But as I've grown older, I've realized that, it's not every battle that you fight. You just let people hang themselves. The noise, when they make noise, I realize that, yes, I must be doing something good. Because there's no dog that's going to bark at a stationary cabbage. Someone is barking because you are moving. And you're not only moving, you're moving in the right direction. You're making a difference. People don't like it. And they're going to bark. So when people start barking, I know it's time to put more pressure on the accelerator. Bark more. Bark more. When you're tired, you just go to bed and you just sleep and you just say, that's what. Let it be. So don't be afraid of the noise. Just focus. Where do you want to go? I want to go there. So I'll just make sure that's where I focus. If you're just there in my lane, I will just put those two and just keep moving. And you just go, what's wrong with that lady? I'm focusing. I have no time for you. I'm going where I'm going, and I'll do whatever it takes to get there. Be resilient. Even up to now, the fights are still there on sites. People still think you don't know. And I'm like, okay, if I don't know at this age, let me be. I've survived. In my lack of knowledge, it's okay. So there's always that, it will never end. But I'm happy at least we have men that are beginning to appreciate that women know what they're doing. Women can also be technical. Women can also be good engineers. But it's there, the fight is on. I think some few weeks back, there's a lady, I also write some articles on LinkedIn just to motivate and inspire. Sometimes when it's happening to you, this guy is just, maybe people are just ignoring you on site. You're on your own. You're feeling like, why am I even here? People don't want me here. Let me just leave. So she got in touch with me in the inbox. She's like, you know what, your article that you've just written, it has really motivated me. I wanted to throw in the towel and go. And I asked her, you want them to win? Do you really want those guys to win? No, don't. And she said, I'm not throwing in the towel anymore. I'm going to survive. Just like you did. I've been on sites where, the client can just come in and say, where's the engineer? And because I was competent, my bosses had gone. I was the assistant resident engineer. The resident engineer had gone away to town. The sites will be back in the rural areas. So I was there, managing the site. The client comes. The guy later on I learned was some cheeky fellow. So it wasn't about me. And sometimes, mostly, for me, if you do your own thing, it's not about me, it's about you. So you never really go under my skin. So the guy comes. Where's the engineer? And people are pointing at me. The guy looks at me. And he says, where is the engineer? Where is the engineer? Then I'm like, okay. Then I just chill. And he's moving, he's going through the site. The contractor is there, he's moving with him, and they're looking at me. And I'm like giving them the wink. I'm like, carry on. They're moving, they show him. And the guy just zooms, he goes away. You know what happened when we were commissioning? Just when the project was done, he came. So the client said, Joy, you go. Then I was now the resident engineer. I said, Joy, the client said, you go and show him. I said, him? No way, I ain't doing that. He wants the engineer, and I'm not. So they move with him. So I'm just there in the background with my team. I'm moving with them. So now he's making his last remarks. He wants to go. So he says, I'm really happy, engineer. You really start with this project, and we are commissioning the people of this town where I have water, and I really want to thank you for sticking around. I turned. I'm looking at him. Does he have a split vision or what? Is he looking at me or somebody? He was talking to me. Me. So I was like, really? I'm an engineer now. I've successfully completed the project, now you're acknowledging. So sometimes you don't have to fight. Let your work speak for itself. Trust me, they're seeing it. They're seeing it, they just don't want to acknowledge. But of course a time will come when they'll acknowledge. So don't even fight it. And it's sweeter that way. You're like, okay. So for me, what I didn't look all fuzzled and all, I just said, thank you. That composure, thank you very much. So just focus, be resilient. The battles will come, but trust me, your work will always fight for you. Technologies, ladies, let's not be afraid of computers. There's e-procurement these days, you'll be left behind. So if you're not tech savvy, there's so many online courses, you can visit colleges, but let's be tech savvy so that we are more competitive. And don't be afraid to fail. I always say that, don't be afraid to fail. Sometimes we think that failing is the end of the world. Failure is for leaving people. And you're alive, aren't you? So you definitely fail. The only problem is when you fail and you just remain down on the ground and you're like, I want to die. So you fail, learn what made me fail this time around. Change the script, get up and move. Ministry of National Housing. Okay. Our mandate is to build house Zimbabweans. We have projects where we have funding from Treasury, and you'll agree with me that land is running out. Who doesn't know? Land is really running out. So that the luxury of stands, where you get your 3,000 square meters, 4.5, 5,000 is now a thing of the past. And even the people with 5,000 square meters are actually now subdividing because it's costly even to maintain such a big piece of land. So our thrust now is to build going upwards. We're building apartments. And that's also even in the our human settlements policy. That's 40% of any project. That you design. 40%. And don't come to negotiate in my office. Can we make 10? The policy is a policy. So 40% needs to be apartments. So we have those projects where we own the land, we have the money, we put out a tender out there, you bid, the winner moves on site, they build for us, we pay you based on your payment certificate. After it's done, you give us our flats, bye-bye. Then we also have possibilities of private-public partnerships where we have land, but we don't have the funding. You have the money, we have the land. So we'll come in as a partnership where we value our land. How much is it? $10. How much is your funding? $100. So the number of our partners that we're going to build there, we share according to our contribution. So that is also a possibility. And then we also have projects where we are doing also refurbishments of government properties. Trust me, it's been a long while, and properties, some of them are falling down. If you go into any town, if you just look, see some funny buildings, say, this is government. Say, yes. This is government, yes. So we are really embarrassed by that as a minister. So we have really started this maintenance program where we'll be looking for contractors just to come and do the maintenance, painting, plumbing, electrical fittings, things like that. So that is also something that is going to be there. And good news, Gaudisa talked about that. There is a women's quota in the tenders that we're going to be doing. So we are going to be, all that you need to do is to make sure that when you advertise, you put that in, that there's going to be that 10% for women. So we are going to be doing that as a ministry, just to have women contractors on board. So please, when we do put out those tenders, and there's that women's quota, please don't let me down. So you'll be seeing more of that. I think what we'll do through Zbca, we can, when we put out a tender, we can let her know that, you know what, we have a tender that is out, and there's a women's quota clause that's there. So please just make sure as many women out there know about it. Our tenders also come out in the papers, mostly the Thursday paper and the Sunday mail. So our tenders will always be out there. Also on the press portal, they also put out the tenders there. So please, let's come on board and let's build this nation. And before I sit down, I think I've talked a lot. Before I sit, I just want you to remember something. If you forget everything else that I've said today, just remember this one thing. Behind every successful woman is herself.